Hey there, folks. It's Javier here, coming to you live. Javier Blog 208. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you guys. It's late at night, 3 o'clock in the morning to be exact. Location disclosed. And so throughout January, I've been through quite a bit, honestly. Since January 1st, New Year's Day, I haven't talked about it because I've been kind of keeping my life, my travel life and other things under the radar for the most part. But I had a little bit of a thought that came to mind, and this thought is just that honestly, people are just truly beautiful. So I started thinking about this, and I guess it kind of mixes in with my Christian love, if you will, that I have like in me. But I started thinking about this, and when I was in Denver, Colorado, um, that's a crazy story. I was on my way to Dallas, Texas, and I was gonna go see my Aunt Teresa on the layover. Now, something happened. So, as you know, I don't know how many of you have been through Denver flying or just going through it, but um, the train to the downtown city broke down. And first of all, we were in the middle of a snowstorm. It was snowing, and the train to the downtown city just broke down. And I remember I was trying to catch the train in Denver Union Station, and there was a bunch of people inside the train, myself included. The train just stopped. It stopped for 30 minutes, and then they didn't have any communication with us at all. They weren't telling us anything about what happened. So about 30 minutes later, it's frigid, it's single digits outside, there's snow and ice everywhere, it's freezing, freezing, freezing outside. They kick us all off the train, all of us. And they say there's a shuttle bus right over there, but guess what? There was no shuttle bus. So me and a bunch of people, really people that were just like sad, mad, whatever, just walking in a group all the way to this so-called shuttle stop that doesn't exist. And we were out there in the cold, all of us. We're out there in the cold waiting and waiting and waiting, and people were getting fed up. It was like 30 minutes, but it's just like what I noticed, it was just like a migration of people. Like, and this is just my personal observation, a migration of people having to walk a distance from this train to this so-called shuttle in the freezing cold Colorado air. And it was weird. It was very, very weird. But it's just seeing all the emotion there. And it just looked like a humble migration of people. And we were all out there just waiting for this bus, which took like 30 minutes to come. We found out that the reason the train stopped was because somebody got hit by a train, a 22-year-old or whatever, got hit by the train. I heard it was like he was like a 22-year-old with his headphones were in his ears, and he was apparently walking, wasn't paying attention. The train came full speed ahead. It hit him and it killed him. Obviously, a very sad and tragic story. But meanwhile, we were all stranded in the cold because of it. All of us. Me and like 30, 40, 50 other people. It was just like, and we were just there waiting and waiting. And sometime at one point they told us to go to the other side. So we all walked to the other side. And then when the bus finally did show up, like 30 minutes later, we all had to go into that shuttle bus. And we were just all in there cold, tired, and just exhausted of what they were putting us through. And I realized that um, human beings are just beautiful. I mean, at the end of the day, we can be some of the most vile creatures on the planet. Like, we destroy life, destroy animals in slaughterhouses, unborn babies, you know, abuse poor and suffering people who are just trying to find better lives, all of the above. We're some of the most vile creatures on the planet, but at the end of the day, when we're in a struggle, and we all just have to like be together trying to survive something. It's and we were just like migrating together, cold in the cold, lots of us trying to take care of each other, trying to survive. It's a beautiful thing, and we were all on the bus together. Everybody was cold, tired looking. The bus headed to Denver Union Station, and we got there and we just all walked together in a group. It's just like there's a real beauty in that. A real beauty, and everybody had different emotions. Some people were mad, sad. Some people were emotional about were like recognizing the tragedy that had happened of that poor kid that got hit by the train. Um, and and really, it's a beautiful thing. And just how people like in situations like that just stick together and talk to each other and help each other out and walk together, that's a beautiful thing. And then I was also at the Denver International Airport a separate time, um, and a friend of mine named Chad who works at this airport, at the airport. He showed me this area, and by the way, Denver is probably the best airport ever to be stranded in. I'm not gonna lie. And it is by far, and I'm not saying this to jinx it, but it is by far the most cozy airport that I have ever been to, ever. I mean, I've been through. I've spent nights in Dallas, Denver, you name it, Boston, all these airports in Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I probably give Denver International Airport the prize for being the most comfortable airport to stay in, thanks to all the sofas they have around. They have sofas everywhere, and bathrooms everywhere, Wi-Fi everywhere, outlets everywhere, plenty of places to eat, plenty of space, places to walk, places to drink, everything. Like, you can literally live here. You can camp out here for a while and literally just live here, literally. But that I digress. Aside from the point, um, if you're stranded at an airport, the best airport to be stranded in is Denver. But aside from that, so a friend of mine, somebody I know named Chad, he works at this airport, and he showed me a place where they literally have like beds for people at this airport who are just kind of camping out. Literally, they do. They do have like beds for people at this airport who are camping out. And I went there, and they just like had these like little gurneys only for ticketed passengers, obviously, which I was. But they have these like little gurneys, these little bed-like gurneys, if you will, a special spot for them where people can just go and sleep the night there. And I went to check it out, and I just saw a bunch of people just huddled together, and some of them were awake, some of them were sleeping, but they were all just together. And on all these gurneys, just like nobody knew each other, but at the same time, all of them were just together, sleeping together with a bunch of strangers, not afraid of one another. And they were just like huddled together in these little gurneys everywhere. And personally, I didn't sleep there because I kind of like, it was kind of a congested area. But at the same time, it was a really beautiful thing to see. It really was. Just like seeing people just together, loving each other, not afraid of each other, caring for one another, whether they know each other or not. And it's beautiful. It really is. And I'm just giving you like two examples. Like, you just think of situations in life where people just love and care for each other, and they're not afraid of each other, and they're right beside one another whether they know each other or not. And it just really kind of gives you a love in your heart for people and for humanity, and honestly, and kind of gives me like a rare thinking that like maybe human beings aren't as monstrous as we think they are. And like I've said, we do monstrous things, and it'd be nice if we stopped. Like, we literally pollute the whole earth. We destroy animals in slaughterhouses. We, you know, are cruel to immigrants and migrants and people that we don't understand. You know, LGBT people, all these people we don't understand, and we're not nice to them. And we start wars and kill each other, and people are there's a lot of vileness and, if you will, sin in humanity. And yeah, abortion too. We kill millions of babies every year. But there's a lot of violence in humanity, and it's like that is why humanity is corrupt, if you will. But I think at the core of their heart, people are just meant to love each other and to care for each other and to be there for each other. And that's really how we're supposed to live, how, if you will, God wants us to live. Yeah, how Christ wants us to live. To love and care for one another and to be there for one another, and to stick together and to just be nice to one another and to carry each other's burdens. And that is the beauty of humanity. There's the wickedness of humanity, and then there's the beauty of humanity. And like, people shouldn't be afraid of each other at the end of the day. People should just learn to love each other. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's a beautiful thing in the rare times in life when we see that. When we see people sticking together, loving each other, not being afraid of each other. And that is just a beauty of humanity. A beauty of people that will give you a love in your heart, a godlike love for people in humanity. And it's an amazing, beautiful, and powerful thing. And just taking your eyes off, or your thoughts off, like how wicked humanity is. But it is an amazing thing. Anyway, I just wanted to share these thoughts. I guess if I were to conclude this video, just learn to love each other better and learn to care for each other and stop being so afraid of each other. And it's just observe how people, like in desperate situations, just learn to love and care for one another and see the beautiful part of humanity rather than the wicked, corrupt, sinful part of humanity. Because if the beautiful part of humanity was all there was, then that's how God intended us to live. That's how Christ intended us to live. And not all this wicked, evil, if you will, sin in this world. If everybody, it goes back to my saying, if everybody truly lived like Christ, followed Christ, I think I've said before that I believe the sin in this world will be gone. But it's just some thoughts. I want to just thank you guys for watching. Just late night thoughts. Appreciate you guys. Javier Blog 208 tuning up.